See, the truth of the matter is, when it comes to organized stalking, gang stalking, these forms of organized harassment, covert harassment, a lot of this plays into the reprobate-minded individuals. Stalking, watching, spying, and participating in something like this against an individual, covertly or overtly trying to induce a state of paranoia or fear within the individual to let them know that they're being watched or monitored, is not only is that sick, but it says a lot about the majority of society and people who are willing to participate in something like this. And I believe, maybe some people are coerced, maybe some people are blackmailed, but for the most part, I believe that there's a big chunk of society that actually get some type of fulfillment out of doing this to people, because see, a lot of people have this group-minded mob mentality, so they feel powerful, you know what I mean, using these organized stalking, organized harassment tactics in a group form against one individual, whether it be, secretly recording somebody, taking pictures of somebody like perps do, or following somebody. They want to think that they have your whole life and all your moves planned out, and that gives people a false sense of empowerment. So this type of program and participating in something like this says a lot about individuals as a whole. And over the years that I've been going through organized stalking and gang stalking, I've really connected the type of personalities that are involved in things like this. I've really seen it firsthand, with narcissists in my family, narcissists in the workplace, narcissists within the communities. And I've also seen how people in communities and individuals actually bond over doing this to a person, one individual. So they bond over gang stalking and perping and targeting a person. This is like what they do, this is what fulfills them. So I really got to see the ugly side of society as a whole. And there's a lot of people out there that think they know what life is about. They think they know about so-called life and everything there is to know, yet they're not aware of the dark side of society, which is, cause stalking, group stalking, gang stalking, organized stalking, these forms of covert harassment and surveillance. And these different things that go into it, which it's not only gang stalking, but, a lot of these people sustain their lives off of voyeurism, secretly recording people and then selling it on the dark web or different places, on forums and things of that nature. Or a lot of these people, they make a living off of fraud. They make a living off of stealing identities. You know what I mean? They make a living off of false marriages, you know what I mean? And life insurance policy setups. Stealing people's inheritances and whatever's left to them, properties and things of that nature. So I feel like, in my opinion, the same individuals that are involved in organized stalking, which includes a lot of hacking, tapping, mirroring people's devices as well, that form of surveillance and spying, a lot of these same individuals are actually tapped into other enterprises and forms of organized crime, and involved. They got their hands in all types of different sick shit, you know what I mean? It's a lot of sick shit that it all encompasses some of the same characteristics that an individual that would be involved in something like these things that I've just mentioned here have. You know what I mean? They all got the characteristics of people who would be involved in something and things of that nature, which, in my opinion, I feel like that's like narcissism itself, and being an evil individual and a sick individual on that scale, that in itself to me is like basically a mental illness, you could say. It's like the same people who are trying to misrepresent you, and these people out here forging documents, or you know what I mean, putting forging medical records and things of that nature, which I think that plays a part too. It's like so much that goes into this, and it's so many people involved from different portions of society to do this to one person, that it's almost like it's like a puzzle, you know what I mean? And to put it all together, it takes some time. But from what I've seen, you know, organized stalking, it really leads to all these other rabbit holes of deep and dark sadistic shit people like to do to other people, using, you know, their resources or other people they know within society in an authoritative position that can help them pull off these sorts of you know, organized crimes and things of that nature. So this isn't just regular people doing things like this. This is people who have the backing, the resources, and the help from other individuals to help them pull off something big like this. So like I said, that's why I do believe that there is some type of secret society or Freemasonic or, you know, cults and covens and that type of influence as well, because, you know, these people got a lot of time on their hands. You know, they use the money that they get and any funds they get to, you know, fund their type of reprobate lifestyles and their type of groups that they're all sworn and took an oath into. So like I said, it's on gang stalking is only one rabbit hole that just leads to so much more. And whether people want to believe it or not, that is the truth about this so-called world. There is a dark side to this world. I mean, I don't choose to let that bring me down or discourage me. You know, I stay empowered, I keep my faith, but at the same time, I'm fully aware that, you know, there's some sick-ass people in these communities out here, you know, playing a role, you know what I mean, being planted in your neighborhoods, all these new people moving in, being planted around you, everybody pretending not to know each other, knowing deep down a lot of these people are going to meetings about targeted individuals, you know what I mean? They're having secret meetups, they got group chats, all these forms of communications, all to come against and attempt to sabotage and slander one individual while pretending to be normal within society. It's the sickest people out here pretending to be normal. That's what I've realized going through this type of stuff.